All right, so next up, let's talk Dayton, Arizona. Dayton having that big comeback win last game against Nevada to ultimately get the W. Probably should have lost that game. I did have Nevada going into that game, but Dayton gets the win in the end. Arizona beat Long Beach State pretty handily. So let's talk Dayton, Arizona. 7-2 matchup here. Dayton coming in at 25-7, Arizona 26-8. Dayton has not really played anybody all year. All right, so that's kind of the skepticism on them. They haven't beaten anybody all year. They've played some tougher games, talking about Dayton, but they haven't won any of them, okay? So, they've only beaten tournament teams that were not at-large teams, but automatic qualifiers from kind of the smaller conferences. So, looking at their schedule here, you have a loss to Northwestern by single digits. Northwestern just beat FAU, so that's a really good win there. Loss there. That's not a bad loss by any means. Boo Buie and Northwestern are capable of beating some good teams, so that's not a bad loss. You've also got a loss to Houston. We know what Houston's capable of. That's not a bad loss at all. Kept it close with them. Then as far as the A10 goes, ultimately it only ended up being Dayton and Duquesne making the tournament. Duquesne beat BYU the other day, so maybe that one's better than most of us originally thought. In the A10, the only really somewhat good record teams were Loyola Chicago, Richmond, VCU that didn't make the tournament, and they did lose a couple of games of those. They kind of split with a couple of them, and then ultimately lost to Duquesne in the conference tournament. But like I said, Duquesne did beat BYU the other day, so they can play. All right, now Dayton, their main guy, is Holmes the second. All right, then looking at Arizona, 26-8. All right, we know what they're capable of. They've got a lot of guys that can actually ball out. All right, Caleb Love in particular from North Carolina. We've seen what he's capable of previously when he was a Tar Heel. They've also got Bio down low. But looking at Arizona's schedule, all right, Pac-12 not super strong this year, but they did play a tougher non-conference. You have wins over Duke, wins over Michigan State, wins over Wisconsin, Alabama, single-digit loss to Purdue. All of those really impressive. Single-digit loss to FAU in double overtime. Not a bad loss there either. So I think this game should be pretty competitive. Arizona did lose some questionable games in conference play. So I don't think Arizona is just the most dominant 2-seed ever, but I think they do have the talent, the upside to kind of go on a run here. But I really think the winner of this game, no matter who wins it, it kind of sets up nicely to win the next game again and make the Elite Eight pretty easily. As far as matchup predictor on ESPN, looks like Arizona is being picked a lot more than Dayton. Arizona being picked 82% of the time. The spread, Arizona is favored by, 8.5 here? By 9, somewhere in that range. So Arizona heavily favored in this game. I think Dayton can keep it close with them for a little bit, but ultimately I think Arizona is going to be too much for Dayton. Dayton, we saw what they were capable of against Nevada, a little questionable at times. Probably shouldn't even won that game. They were down pretty big going into the end. I think they went on 24-2, 24-0 run, something like that in the last 7 minutes. So they had no business winning that game, yet somehow they pulled it out. I think Arizona's going to win this game by double digits. I think they're too much for Dayton, and I'm going to need to see a little more from Dayton before I can be reassured how good they are. So give me Arizona by double digits. But who do you think wins this game and why? Let me know down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.